Hey friends, and welcome back to Big Nate's Whiskey Lounge. I am Nate and thrilled to have you here for another whiskey video. Today is not going to be a typical whiskey video though. Today is going to be a cocktail video. And the reason for that is because I found a cocktail that I'm really excited to try. I did try a sample of this in one of my stores. I was doing some whiskey hunting and one of the stores had a tasting. I went over to the High West table. He gave me a little pour of the double rye, gave me a little pour of the American Prairie, both fantastic, both I own. And he's like, hey, have you had their old fashioned mix? I said, no. So I tried it, loved it, bought a bottle. It's a $45 bottle, so it was like 58 bucks after tax, or 48 bucks after tax. And so this comes from the High West Distillery in Park City, Utah. This is their old-fashioned barrel-finished cocktail. It's an old-fashioned made with straight rye whiskey, straight bourbon whiskey, and bitters. So they say it pours about 12 cocktails. It is 43% alcohol, which means that a lot of times you get a mix and then it doesn't come with alcohol, or you make it yourself, and then sometimes it takes down the proof. Now the only thing that really comes in old fashions is simple syrup and bitters, so it actually shouldn't take it down that much, but I'm thrilled that they kept it above 40%. I'm thrilled with that. So what they did is we drive complexity in our old fashioned by using both bourbon and rye whiskeys, which lends earthy sweet corn notes and dry rye spice, pulled together with an unrefined raw sugar, simple syrup, and bitters. So they take a already straight bourbon and an already straight rye, and they put that together with simple syrup and bitters to make it old fashioned. They then take that mixture, that cocktail, and they rest it in second use rye whiskey barrels for an additional 3 months to marry the flavors and round out its character. I find that to be really cool, and I'm really excited to try that. I really do like an old fashioned because it is a very whiskey forward cocktail. It really is just whiskey and a couple things added. I love it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to step away real quick because I didn't want the ice to melt too much. I'm going to go grab a sphere of ice. I'll be right back. All right, and I am back. And as you can see, I have just a single sphere of ice in my glass. I am using my Podcask. You probably can't see that well. Podcask Rocks glass. You can get one for yourself at podcask.com/store and do that. So we're going to take this off. It's kind of cool. They have a faux tack strip on this, like a lot of other bottles do, a lot of actual whiskeys do, which is kind of cool. And I'm a big fan of High West, so I'm excited to try this. I have a jigger here. What did they say for the serving size? It says it makes 12. It does not say. It's a 750 mils, so I'm just gonna do, probably goes off of a standard 1.5 ounce pour. I'm a 2 ounce pour guy, so I'm just gonna pour 2 ounces into my jigger here. I'll move this over so you can see it a little bit more. I spilled a little. That's all right, so we'll give it a little nip to make up for it. Smells fantastic from here. I was talking about this with some guys right after I bought this. I went and I was hanging out in my cigar lounge, and I mentioned this cocktail, and the guy was like, "But what about like the fruit and things like that?" Nothing stopping you from adding a wedge of orange peel to it, drop it in a cherry, or maybe throwing in a dash of orange bitters or something. Nothing stopping you from doing that. Oh, that smells fantastic. Now my rock is kind of sticking to the side. It started to melt and it actually kind of adhered to the glass. I'm really liking this. I'm getting oranginess on it. So it says it uses aromatic bitters. It doesn't say that it uses like orange or anything, but I'm getting orangey on it. Oh, my glass floated free, or my ice floated free. Oh, it smells so good. I can definitely smell the rye. Man. Oh, that's so good. That might get me to, I might keep a bottle of that on hand. and go to that quite a bit. Oh, there's good spice on that. That tastes like a Christmas cookie. Like a gingerbread, that's a straight up gingerbread cookie. It's a gingerbread cookie on the finish. On the front end, it's like orange chocolate. Man, that is so good. Well done, High West. Well done. I'm gonna keep a bottle of this on hand if I can keep finding it in my area. I highly recommend you grabbing a bottle. I think it was $30 for a 375 and $45 for a 750. So a lot of people are like, you make them themselves, absolutely fine. If you're like me and just don't have the time or money to keep, or really the time or the energy to keep around those items. Now I do have a bottle of bitters and I do have a bottle of simple syrup, but like fruit and things like that, I don't usually keep enough oranges around to or save them in order to make this. So this is going to be right up my alley. It does not say to refrigerate it, so it should be good to go. But this was fantastic. Well done, High West. You are becoming one of my favorite distilleries very wow. On Christmas, I released my Midwinter Nights Dram video. Wow, that was my first time having it. And that was fantastic. Can't wait to collect the bottles every year. But this also being a barrel finished cocktail, so they took the bourbon, they took the rye, they took the bitters, they took the simple syrup, mixed it all together, and then they aged it longer in a rye barrel. Fantastic. Great stuff. This was so good. And I will offer this to anybody that wants it whenever they come over. If they're not a whiskey person, hey, I got something for you. Who can't turn down an old fashioned? Who can turn down an old fashioned? So good. Well, I'm going to enjoy this while watching some football. Not my team's playing, so who cares? Although I do have a team I want to win, especially for fantasy purposes. But thanks so much for watching. Hope you like this content. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out High West products. They do their entry-level line is really good. They have the American Prairie and the Double Rye, which are standard and on the shelf in my area at all times. They do have the Rendezvous Rye, which I wasn't a big fan of the 21 year, but I know past years have been really good. But they also they let people do store picks of those three, and you can find fantastic bottlings. You can get, I recently had Yippee-Ki-Yay, one of their ryes. That was fantastic. Had a pour of that. Had 2 pours actually. And then they have their Midwinter Nights Dram. They have Campfire, which I haven't had and I'm looking for. But High West just knocks it out of the park. Now, they are starting to release things with their own juice in it as I speak, as of December 13th of 21. Some of their releases that are starting to come out now have their own stuff in it, but they also source from MGP, but they blend it so dang well. Blending is an art form, and High West is one of the distilleries that just gets it. Shout out to Brendan Coyle, their master distiller, and Steve Walton, their head bartender. I bet you Steve was involved in this cocktail being made and released to the public, so shout out to those guys. I'm thrilled that you stuck around here. Appreciate you. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and enjoy yourself in Old Fashioned. Enjoy the people that you're with. Again, Jason C. from Mash and Drum always says it's not the whiskey, it's the people you're with. I say that is absolutely true. Unless those people suck, then just drink way more whiskey. Cheers.